Yeah, now our audio should be open for everyone to see and hear.
All right.
And we sound pretty good on the back end. Awesome. All right. What's going on, dear viewers? This is your gracious host, Kaine Walker, back with another episode of the Monkey Paw, where we document the downfall of mainstream Western entertainment. And I am joined by my co-host, Soups. How you doing tonight, bro?
Been a bit of a day, but good to be here.
Awesome, awesome. As usual, it's always great to be here, man. Sometimes there's really slow weeks for entertainment, and sometimes there's really hectic weeks where it's one thing after another. So we should be covered for topics for the next at least two shows, this one included. Um, but I picked the most important topics that I think we should discuss as soon as possible, and the others can be discussed pretty much the very next show. Especially in the way of movies. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to the one I want to talk about tonight, but without further ado, I can bring us into our first topic. As soon as I take down the screen.
You know, this last 2 weeks have given us like months worth of topics to talk about. Man, there's so it. I feel like it's just gonna keep piling on, man. We're gonna we're gonna have show material for months to come.
Well, if about Disney, maybe, but in general, it's been pretty. Well, I don't want to say dry because it hasn't been dry, but I just don't see there being very many
Gaming,
topics that have
game.
arcs. Like there's a part two or part three. Disney seems to be having like part twos and part threes consistently, but as far as movies and stuff, unless something drops and it's good, I might talk about Twister. I might go see that. I might talk about Borderlands, but I'm not gonna go see that shit. I'm just gonna read an article and give my reaction because based on that trailer, I'll save my comments for that time when it's time to talk about
We're
that
gonna
movie. Yeah.
so we're also gonna have to eventually make a show where we talk about X-Men because this has been a bit of an X-Men year in movies and cartoons.
Oh yeah, for
Finally,
sure.
finally got around to watching X-Men 97 too. Oh boy, I got a lot to say about that. But other
Alrighty, so I'm gonna read the title and then I'm gonna ask you your thoughts before we actually get into reading the article. So this is gonna be from AP News. What does AP stand for? I have no idea what AP stands for, but this is from AP News,
me
and it
neither.
says,
I have no
"What?
idea.
It's all good." It says Disney argues wrongful death suit should be tossed because plaintiffs signed up for a Disney Plus trial. So, reading that just on its face, what do you think?
Uh, Either they've got a really shady ass contract for one, or this is just outright illegal and they have no basis at all to argue with that. Imagine, oh, who went to like hitch a ride at was it Paramount Park or something like that, and you got your leg hurt from falling off a ride, didn't like lock on or anything, it didn't lock on properly or something. Up for the streaming service. What sense does that make? Yes, I
I
already
heard,
know. I kind of already familiar with this topic, but still.
I only heard half of what you said, but I get what you mean. You made reference to the I think you meant Universal Studios. You said something about Paramount, but you imagine getting on a ride at Universal
Uh,
Studios and you hurt your leg.
Universal, Universe.
Yeah, imagine you get on a ride at Universal and you hurt your
Yeah, yeah.
leg, but you're not allowed to press charges or sue because you signed up for their streaming service. Or because you bought a ticket to the ride.
Imagine
Yeah,
like
like
you like
that's
you're like
ridiculous.
yeah, you bought a ticket to the roller coaster and you fell off because the seatbelt didn't lock on properly, so and you hurt your leg. It's bull. It's bull. I am coming through, right?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, because you said it. You said I was cutting out a bit there. That's what I was worried.
You sound clear now. I'll let you know whenever you start cutting out again. Just keep going.
All right, but you keep going now because I've made my piece.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, even if this is legal, which I fucking hope, I really hope not, because that's depressing. Even if this would be legal, it's pretty fucking crooked. You know what I mean? Um, Something that was a direct result of an event or a restaurant or let's say ride that's connected to your brand ended up harming or killing someone else, and you're not to be held liable because of some weird stipulation that's somewhere else in some sort of fine print in the terms of service. You know what I mean? That's just, even if that's legal, it's fucking immoral, dude. Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't see how it is legal though. That's the real like yeah we agree it's a very obviously immoral and crooked thing, but like see how that given how that's legal. Like what court is that?
Well, maybe we can find out together. We're starting here at the first line of the article. It says New York AP does signing up for Disney's popular streaming service mean you have agreed to never sue the entertainment giant over anything forever? That is what Disney argues in a wrongful death lawsuit involving a 42-year-old New York doctor whose family claims had a fatal allergic reaction after eating at an Irish pub in Disney Springs in October. Disney is asking a Florida court to dismiss a lawsuit brought against it by Jeffrey Piccolo, the husband of Canuck porn. Oh my god, these fucking names, dude. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Every time there's some weird name.
One day you'll get it.
Hang on. Somebody commented that they also same person canceling their subscription. So after that, shouldn't that also nullify any rule agreed to under the contract? Basically, to paraphrase what they said. You would think that to be the case, but like I said, we would have to read more into it, which I'm hoping the article will shed light on. There's also a link to the actual lawsuit, which I'm sure is public knowledge, which is why they've linked it here. But I have no idea if canceling Disney Plus would entitle you to any sort of compensation or freedom from that kind of contract. I have no idea. Maybe there's some stipulation clause that in the event you unsubscribe, you know what I mean? I have no idea. That's why this is so nefarious. But to continue on, it says Disney is asking a Florida court to dismiss a lawsuit brought against it by Jeffrey Piccolo, the husband of this person. I'm just gonna highlight their name because I'm not gonna butcher that, man. The husband of this person, a family medicine specialist of NYU Lagone's office in Carl Palace on Long Island. The company argues Piccolo had agreed to settle any lawsuits against Disney out of court through the arbitration process when he signed up for a 1-month trial of Disney Plus in 2019 and acknowledged that he had reviewed the fine print. So you mean to tell me this is all stemming from a 1-month free trial? This is why people tell you not to sign up for free trials. That's not the only reason, but you would never think some shit like this would pop up. The main reason is because you'll obviously forget that you signed up for the trial, and a lot of companies are knowledgeable of that, and then they'll just extract money from you from the fucking shadows, and you'll forget about the membership. There's a lot of other practices from other subscription services that allow similar things, but that's a different topic. This is disgusting. So here in the next line, it says the terms of use which were provided with the subscriber agreement include a binding arbitration clause, the company wrote in its motion. The first page of the subscriber agreement states in all capital letters that any dispute between you and us, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration. Disney also notes in its response that Piccolo agreed to a similar arbitration provision when he created an account on Disney's website and app ahead of the ill-fated theme park visit. Are you kidding, dude? Like, wow. Continuing on. But Piccolo's lawyer, in a response filed earlier this month, argued that it was absurd to believe that the more than 150 million subscribers to Disney Plus have waived all rights to sue the company and its affiliates in perpetuity, even if their case has nothing to do with the popular streaming service. Go ahead, I heard you wanted to weigh in. Like, oh my god, bro, this shit is clown world already.
Yeah, what the? Yeah, like what the hell are they thinking tying this to their subscription service over a case that has nothing to do with it? Why is there a lawsuit tied
I
to a
don't.
subscription service over a death related to,
No, like, why
if
is
I'm, if
there.
I'm understanding
Why.
this correctly, an allergic reaction, like over something
Yeah,
the person
like,
ate,
the way
right?
it's written. Yes, it was an allergy. I think it was a rice
Uh,
allergy, but I'll read through again to refresh my memory. But apparently, this was a catch-all written into the fine print of the subscription service. So even if you signed up for the 1 month free trial or something like that, you have agreed to this unwittingly. Which that can't be. Come on, bro, that can't be legal. Come on. Oh my God, bro, that's terrible. So I want to read a comment that
there's no
someone
way.
just shared real quick. Right, so that comment says, how is it supposed to be legal to apply rules after given service doesn't apply anymore? After the given service doesn't apply anymore. This is the same logic like you can't work for anybody else even after you don't work for me. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous, right? But apparently the rules apply here until we find out more in the future. It is absurd. And somebody lost their life from an establishment that is a part of your brand, and you just get to walk away and not answer for that. Like, it's kind of it's just scummy, bro. Like, what else do you say about something like this? Soups, do you have anything to weigh in about before I continue reading the rest of the details?
Yeah, there's something else I heard about related to this, and you might end up reading it later on in the article. I'm not sure, but if I recall, Disney re rejected or turned down an opportunity to legit pay pay the lawsuit money and have it settled out of court. Just kind of make it go away type of deal. They doubled down on that with this
We read that.
excuse.
We read that.
Oh, but no, but like that wasn't like the amount of money was like what 10,000 or something like that. Like it was like a high number for us, but like
It
very
couldn't have
like
been ten
pocket change for
thousand.
them. Like
It
something, it
couldn't
had
have
to be
been ten
some
thousand
big
dollars.
some
Like,
kind of.
they killed. Not only did they kill. Not only did they end up killing a family member of yours and your wife. I think that's what it said. This was a doctor. There's no way. There's no way. With all those things combined, there's no way it was just $10,000. It had to be a much bigger settlement than that. They're responsible for the death of another person. That had to at least be the equivalent worth of a life insurance policy, bro. At least. Like,
Uh,
there's no way.
my math
But
is
continue.
not exactly perfect. I don't know how much of life insurance is worth. I was just saying I don't
No,
know
you're
my
good. You're good. You're
math
good.
very well, so I don't know how much a life insurance policy is worth.
No, that's fine. Did you have anything else to add?
No, not much. Keep going.
Okay. It says here, Disney in its May 31st filing argued that whether Piccolo actually reviewed the service terms is immaterial. Not sure what they mean to point out
Uh,
by stating that. I have no idea.
Limits.
I'm gonna reread that.
Wait, what? What?
Disney in
Yeah,
its May
what's
31st filing. Let me reread it. Let me reread it. Disney in its May 31st filing argued that whether Piccolo actually reviewed the service terms is immaterial, which means they can't prove whether or not he reviewed the. What? Why would they make that argument? I don't. Does that help? Does that even help them? They can't prove he read it. If anything, that hurts them because if he didn't read it, you hoodwinked him. He can argue that you swindled him. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It also noted the arbitration.
Wouldn't it?
Go ahead.
Wouldn't it be better for them to argue that he didn't read the contract and therefore, his argument isn't valid? Something that a typical company would do to be like, "Oh, you didn't read the contract. You can't sue us." No.
No. Making it at all apparent that the person that was signing their agreement did not read it would definitely hurt their case, because as someone giving a contract, you want to make sure the person signing away anything is in full knowledge of what's going on. So to say it's immaterial or it can't be proven that he actually read it actually hurts their case. They should be trying to say that he was aware of the rules, he knew the risk, he knew what he was getting into, because that's what would be the binding implement of the contract. That would bolster their position. But to say it's immaterial, which, if I'm correct, means it's not, it can't be proven or it can't be witnessed or something like that, then that's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. That's if I'm correct in this definition of immaterial in this context. I'm pretty sure I am, but that would definitely hurt him if I'm correct. But it says it also noted the arbitration provision covers all disputes, including disputes involving the Walt Disney Company or its affiliates. Oh, wow. Okay. Whatever. Or maybe they mean it doesn't matter. I'm not sure what they mean by immaterial in that context. Arbitration allows people
to settle. They're basically saying it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're basically saying it doesn't matter.
That would have to be in order to help themselves.
Which, I mean, it's still weird coming from them, but yeah, I was saying, it's still weird coming from them, but I think that's what they mean by immaterial. Trying to be very wordy about it.
Of no consequence, I'm pretty sure that word has more than one definition. But anyway, arbitration allows people to settle disputes without going to court and generally involves a neutral arbitrator who reviews arguments and evidence before making a binding decision or award. Disney said late Wednesday that it is deeply saddened by the family's loss, but stressed the Irish pub is neither owned nor operated by the company. The company's stance in the litigation doesn't affect the plaintiff's claims against the eatery, it added. We are merely defending ourselves against the plaintiff's attorney's attempt to include us in their lawsuit against the restaurant, the company wrote in an emailed statement. 1 second. CMDR Vile, what's going on? I didn't say hi to you either, Mina Kill, but nice of you two to join us. Thanks for popping in. Share around the link if you wouldn't mind, so that we can get some more eyes on some of Disney's behavior and a couple of other topics that you guys might enjoy hearing about and getting informed on what's going on in entertainment. But anywho, continuing on. Go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
I just want to say real quick. Those of us, some of the people in there, I know from Discord. So please tag any people that may want to listen or have any kind of interest in what the topic's going on. That help a lot. No, I already kind of did a lot of work on that on my own end, but the more the merrier.
Of course. Continuing on, it says Raglan Road, the Irish pub in Disney Springs where the doctor dined, didn't respond to an email seeking comment Wednesday. Disney Springs is owned by Disney, which leases some of the spaces in the outdoor dining, shopping, and entertainment complex to other companies. I mean, would that not still hold them liable? Like, this is someone who is using your property. Like, this would be the same thing as renting a building to someone, right? Like it'd be essentially the same thing, right? At least that's the way I would see it. Like, yeah, they
It,
commit a
it
crime in your house. You still have to like evict them or something. You're still responsible for the damage they caused, right? Not that you're going to jail.
yeah, that like Disney obviously isn't gonna have anyone arrested for this, but I just still find it weird that they didn't just like pay whatever the lawsuit, whatever however much money was in the lawsuit. Like, I would think that they would at least do that and just kind of sweep it under the rug like usual. I don't understand why they're going this far, doubling
I
down.
mean, it wouldn't even be sweeping it under the rug because you don't have to make things like this public, but you could at least show compassion for the people that were affected by something that was on your park's grounds. Like who wouldn't think the company was associated with Disney? Like it's in your is this a resort or a park or something? Yeah, it's a theme park. They said it early in the article.
I
Yeah,
think it's a
they would think that
yeah, it's a
whatever's in
park.
the theme
Yeah,
park
it's a
is
park.
associated with you. Like just in the spirit of just in the spirit of what most people would believe, you'd think they'd
Out
act
of
with some
human,
integrity and
out of
settle
human
it, like,
kindness,
or just
out
decency,
of
not even
human
kindness
kindness.
necessarily. Like it's just yeah.
I mean, I say
One
sweep
sec,
under
I'm
the
trying
rug
to find
because
my
I
place
know
in the
Disney isn't
article.
really much of. Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say that I speak in in
No, you
knowing
can
that
continue.
this company doesn't much of a heart, much compassion at this point. But say they, especially something like this, they wouldn't want this type of story going out into into the big news. That's why I'm really shocked that they to just settle it out of court and just hey, let that go away. A tragic like a tragic incident or accident. This is an accident, right? This is an accidental death, right? Sure,
Yes, like
pretty sure this
this
was
is an
terrible.
accidental death. I don't think. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that any of the cooks at the Irish pub had it out for the doctor in question. Unless some more details that we don't know about come out, I'm pretty sure this is just accidental.
Yeah, you would. I'm
But
pretty
yeah, I think
like
they're gonna get into
pretty
some
sure too it's
details.
accidental, which which to me makes even less sense on why they wouldn't just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," we'll cover the funeral like expenses, funeral and all that. We we sc- we screwed up terribly. It
Exactly.
still
Like, and
makes
I
sense to
think they're
me,
gonna
but
they're gonna go into some details
the
about
only
exactly what was discussed. I'm pretty sure that the allergies that the doctor had were outlined at some point because that would have to be right in order for them to eat at the establishment without the risk of death or anaphylactic shock. Like it just seems like it would go that way. I'm pretty sure that's gonna pop up in this article at some point. You know what I mean?
yeah. Wait, did you find your place yet?
Yeah, yeah. I'm right here.
All
So it
right.
says
Yeah, we
Piccolo's
could keep going then.
lawsuit, which was filed in February. Gotcha. Piccolo's lawsuit, which was filed in February, claims that he, his wife, and his mother decided to eat at Raglan Road on October 5th, 2023, because it was billed on Disney's website as having allergen-free food. After informing their server numerous times that she had a severe allergy to nuts and dairy products, the doctor ordered the vegan fritter, scallops, onion rings, and a vegan shepherd's pie. So I think I was wrong about the rice. My mistake. The waiter then guaranteed that the food was allergen free, even though some of the items were not served with allergen free flags, the lawsuit states. About 45 minutes after finishing the dinner, the doctor had difficulty breathing while out shopping, collapsed, and eventually died at the hospital despite self administering an EpiPen during the allergic reaction, according to the lawsuit. A medical examiner's investigation determined later she died as a result of anaphylaxis due to elevated levels of dairy and nut in her system, the lawsuit said. An October 2nd hearing has been scheduled on Disney's motion in county court in Orlando. Piccolo seeks more than $50,000 in his lawsuit. I think he should sue them for more, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, there you go. Disney's reputation continues to take a nosedive as they look ever more clownish in the eye of the public. And in this segment about Disney does not end here. I don't know if more details about this case are going to come out, but be certain that if they do, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover the part 2 to see if this man actually gets the settlement he deserves from Disney. Because I hope he does. This shit is rank. Like, the fact that they won't just settle the case is insane to me. But speaking of insanity, the perfect segue for more Disney files covered by O'Keefe Media Group on YouTube. Subscribe, become informed, know where your money is going. Ah, man. Before we get into this next one, do you have anything to add about the previous article or the article coming up? You have the floor.
I was gonna say, okay, totally wrong on 10,000. It was 50,000. Also, I think the reason why it's 50,000 is just probably because of like that's what the guy's lawyer was aiming for. I think. I don't know why. Hell, doesn't it kind of go up the longer that number increase? The longer this goes on, accounting for like attorney's fees and things like that. The longer this goes on,
I have no idea. I am not a legal expert. I have no clue. I would be speaking from ignorance. And honestly, I think I speculated too much reading the article on certain things.
I was gonna say. I mean, I'm pretty much like a noob with the whole law thing too. Only like kind of lawsuit cases I followed were like back then with the Ricardo law streaming and all that. But that's a whole other different topic. This doesn't even apply for clownish anymore. This is just borderline evil at this point. Like, how hard is it to pay the man? Like, just say, just have send out an apology to the guy. Like, this isn't even clownish anymore, man. This is evil.
No clue. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any more to add. But speaking of evil. Let's go ahead. God, man, this Disney stuff.
Yep, another segment of Disney Files.
I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, the last thing we covered, I'm not even gonna lie, it kind of kept me up for a couple hours after we found out about it. But yeah, man, get a load of this, guys. I'm gonna make sure you can hear the audio real quick. I'm gonna check on the back end to make sure that my Google Chrome window is being funneled to the correct audio channel, and I want you guys to hear this in its entirety. But give me a sec.
Just in, the Walt Disney Company is paying for puberty blockers for children. Take a look at this damning document that was provided to us from an insider at Disney today. As you can see on your screen, if you work at Disney, the company allows you to receive puberty blockers for your child, an irreversible sterilization drug that changes the life of your child forever. Internally, Disney pays a medical plan through Cigna Healthcare. Through Cigna, Disney employees have access to counseling, prescription coverages, provider referrals, and yes, puberty blockers for minors. It all starts with referrals. Employees and their dependents can be referred by their healthcare providers for these treatments, which are then covered under Disney's medical plan with Cigna. Let me repeat this again. This internal document that we received from a whistleblower working at the Walt Disney Company reveals that the Walt Disney Company is paying for puberty blockers that sterilize children and completely change the course of their body forever. This is a new but heartbreaking development in our Disney series. As a response to these tapes that have been coming out, we released the GET video showing what they were doing, putting pressure on their colleagues to make those transitions. But this is a developing story. We're going to be reaching out to Disney for comment again. We talked to multiple vice presidents. They kind of stonewalled us. If you're on the inside of Disney, we urge you to come forward and contact us at Signal 914-315-9415. DM us on social media, and someone from OMG will reach out to you. Thank you so much to those of you inside Disney that have a conscience. Follow your conscience. The public has a right to know. Thank you, and stay tuned.
In today's rapidly evolving healthcare landscape and mysterious shortages of medical supplies, being proactive about your health
here. I'm
is
sorry if you
paramount.
guys hear static.
That's
I'm
why our
trying to
OMG supporters, the Wellness Company,
Hopefully
is
it's
proud
only
to
on my
introduce
end.
the ultimate first aid emergency kit, meticulously crafted by its chief medical board.
I think it's only your end. I hear him fine.
When my team and I are out in the field, we always carry our TWC first aid emergency kit because in an emergency, every second counts. The upgraded kit includes essential items like epinephrine for anaphylactic reactions, several common prescription medications, and many vital first aid supplies. Additionally, it features a comprehensive first aid emergency guidebook with over 40 pages of life-saving information. And you can easily replenish your supply at any time. Every kit purchased is eligible for medication replenishments for up to 2 years after purchase. Order your first aid kit now and save 15% by using code OMG for a savings of $60 and savings of over $100 when paired with a purchase of the medical emergency kit. Whether it's ensuring access to medications, personal protective equipment, or other essentials, our commitment is to empower individuals to take control of their health journey. So order your first aid emergency kit now by going to twc.health/OMG. That's twc.health/OMG. That's twc.health/OMG.
Okay, yeah, so that's the scene of the video.
Alan says we need a flashpoint. Just restart, just clear the board, start new. Yeah.
Hey man, I just relay the news, man. I just
this is
hard to react to these videos because I pretty much see them at the exact same time as everyone else. I'm just trying to show you the video so that you know where your money's going every time you go out and see a Marvel movie or you fucking buy some Disney paraphernalia or something like that. I'm just trying to keep the public informed about that, man. Like I don't know what to say. Like they're giving kids life-altering hormonal drugs well before they can make the conscious decision to do so. And it's pretty gross.
Really makes you wonder where they draw the line in the sand.
Is there one? To be completely honest, is there a
Speaking
line?
I'm convinced with these people that there really isn't at this point. But also, I wanted to say about Disney. You mentioned that there's a lawsuit thing is happening in Florida, right?
There's another one?
No, I'm saying the lawsuit we were just talking about.
Yeah. What about it?
You realize it's Florida, state that didn't they just take away Disney's tax evasion rights or things like that or something like that?
It's been so long since that's been covered that I don't even remember. They lost some rights over there, and it was a really big deal. But it's
they lost because Disney never had to pay taxes on kids' education bill way back 2 years ago.
Wait. Stop.
No.
You're coming in robotic. Repeat the last couple things you just said.
Sorry.
You're good.
I was saying that I remember a year or two ago they got their tax waiver rights taken away because of how they were reacting to the kids education bill back, or as they called it, the don't say gay bill or or shit like that.
Yeah, it was a lie. That entire it was a lie, bro. They were speaking from ignorance. Probably never even read it.
Never even read what? The bill? Or
Was actually preventing any sexual language of any kind, including heterosexual, to kids in certain age groups. But why is it that only one group of people was visibly upset about that? It really makes you think, doesn't it?
yeah, it was like kindergarten to third grade. That's what I feel like they should have just extended that to just all of elementary. Just all of elementary school.
Yeah, all of
That's where I would
elementary.
have aimed at that.
To be completely
My
honest.
point is, the same state. My point is, this state basically spanked this in court. So I feel that we might get a catharsis in this now that Disney's screwing around again, Florida of all places. You get where I'm going with this?
No, I get what you're. Second time in the same state.
Hey,
How far can they push until they're just kicked out of? Do you think that'd be possible?
I hope so. I honestly, I thought Florida was gonna do that last year because that would have been hilarious if they just booted Disney out of the state, banned Disney from the state of Florida. That would have been so hilarious and epic. That would have been based
Florida,
as hell, man.
But anyway, I have no comments.
You're
I have no
fucking
more
around in the
comments
state of the Florida, man.
I have no more comments to add, so I wanted to get into this next one about Cartoon Network shutting down. Just to add a bit of levity to what we've been experiencing for the past two demonstrations of Disney's cruelty. Yes, it is bittersweet, but at the same time, it gives us a chance to chat about the glory days of mainstream Western entertainment and our childhoods being overloaded with dope-ass 90s cartoons. So let's get into this Cartoon Network article. Man, I remember going to CartoonNetwork.com and playing a bunch of the games there. The Ben 10 game creator. Oh my god, it was so fun. That was like my favorite thing. All the Unity games they had on there was dope. The Ed and Eddie car game and the Lunchroom Food Fighter game. It was so fun, bro. You got to see Double D's haircut in the mini game if you won with him. It was dope. Oh man. Go ahead.
I'm be honest, man. I never got to actually use the Cartoon Network website back then when I was a kid. Like, came to like computer games, I went on this completely other site with its own like games. Cool Math. If anyone remembers Cool Math games, that was fun.
Yes, I think most people remember Cool Math.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was.
In terms of Cartoon Network, man, I did not see this coming.
Me either.
Which says a lot because they've been going downhill since like 2016, like everyone else, like every other fucking company that does entertainment.
Have been the overtly political cartoons aimed at kids about things they shouldn't be learning about, etc. I won't even get into it.
Either that, or they were just. I mean, it was either that they just had plain cartoons that just sucked, like only babies could follow and enjoy it. Like someone said Teen Titans Go, exactly, Teen Titans Go. Like if they weren't making like
Teen Titans Go is
crap
garbage.
That we've been talking about in the shows. If it wasn't that, they were just making garbage like Teen Titans Go. The selection of shows they had, either they canceled them all or they ended. Reboot garbage.
Man,
that shit got old.
we were supposed to be talking about the good old days, the trash. I guess we might as well get into the article now. We have plenty of time to talk about the good stuff, though. But anyway, this one's going to be coming from Variety, and it says Cartoon Network shuts down. Warner Bros. Discovery kicks visitors over to Max. That means a lot of the Cartoon Network shows are going to be over at HBO Max. Maybe. If it is, I might have a reason to get Max. It says Cartoon Network has been scrubbed. Go ahead.
Cartoon Network would go. I thought Cartoon Network would kind of all go to Toonami or something like that, because of Samurai Jack and just in general cartoon because I know Toonami would have like other cartoons like Justice League, Batman Beyond, Transformers, like they had a bunch of cartoons.
Licensing though, like
and
Toonami and Adult Swim are extensions of Cartoon Network.
Oh. Well, damn! I'm surprised they didn't license.
Yeah, they're extensions.
License it to Adult Swim or Toonami. I'm surprised they didn't just license it to them or pass it on to them. If Cartoon Network can't keep it.
But apparently, from what I'm seeing, they're gonna be transferred over to HBO Max. But the article says Cartoon Network has been scrubbed from the web. Warner Bros. Discovery this week pulled the entire contents of CartoonNetwork.com offline, redirecting visitors to a landing page on Max, its subscription streaming service, encouraging fans to sign up to watch their favorite Cartoon Network shows. The shuttering of this site appears to have happened Thursday, August 8th. Looking for episodes of your favorite Cartoon Network shows? Check out what's available to stream on Max. Subscription required. A pop-up message says on the new Max landing page, sign up for Max, where you can also create a kid's profile with ratings, restrictions, and additional privacy protections to keep it fun and kid-friendly. Cable subscribers continue to enjoy your favorite CN programming on your TV and connected apps as well. So it looks like Cartoon Network as a TV network is still going, but the website is just obliterated for whatever reason. God knows. In a statement, a Cartoon Network spokesperson told Variety, "We are focusing on the Cartoon Network shows and social media where we find consumers are the most engaged and there is a meaningful potential for growth." The rep noted that on linear TV, the Cartoon Network will continue to offer 11 hours of programming from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Excuse me. The Cartoon Network site had previously offered full episodes and video clips for its roster of shows, including Adventure Time, Craig of the Creek, The Amazing World of Gumball, Teen Titans Go, Steven Universe, We Bare Bears, and Clarence. The site also offered access to free games, including games for Teen Titans Go, Adventure Time, and Gumball. The shutdown of CartoonNetwork.com comes a week after WBD told subscribers it will sunset the Boomerang Classic Toon streamer effective September 30th. No! Is that the website? Boomerang? Oh, the website, not the network. Okay, I thought it was sunset Boomerang Network. And migrating customers and the content catalog over to Max. Okay. WBD's killing off of the Cartoon Network appears to be a cost-cutting move, as well as one intended to spur fans to pay for Max. In a series of similar moves, Paramount Global earlier this summer removed a huge trove of content from Comedy Central's site and pulled the full archive of MTV News and CMT from the internet. This is what the Cartoon Network landing page on Max.com looked like on Friday. Man, that's sad. No more games, no more clips of your favorite old shows, no more memories. The website is just gone from the internet, man. Sucks. They had a My Gym Partner's a Monkey game on there too, man. They had so many shows represented by just small and short little flash games. I remember the Foster's game where cheese was rolling down a hill and the game was basically to hold your mouse down and drag the car and slow it down. It was an infinite loop, but it was still kind of fun in a way. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I noticed that. Oh, you're back. Okay, never mind. I saw that you fell off the chat. I was just talking about the games found on Cartoon Network. You there? Hang on, guys. I'm checking on Soups to see if he's alive right now.
Consider revived now. This damn internet.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I lost internet.
He's not dead.
How much did I miss?
You didn't miss very much. I was just waxing their ears off about the games you could find on CartoonNetwork.com, you know, before its burial on August 8th. You know, the Foster's game, the My Gym Partner's a Monkey game, just a bunch of games and clips from your favorite shows. They didn't even used to have full episodes up there because they wanted you to be excited for what was showing up on TV. But, you know. Anything you want to add before we move on to the next topic? You know, we could reminisce about the show or the site and the network for a little bit before moving on to the next one. Well, I mean, I don't know if the Nickelodeon website's still up, Alan. I don't know at all. But yeah, I used to play the games over there too. I remember a lot of them. I used to play that one MMO they had. I don't know if you would call it an MMO, but I played that online game they had. John Lewis, I remember that one game that was a fighter with mechs of characters from a different CN franchise. Cannot remember what that one was. That might have been Symbiotic Titan that you're thinking of. And it was probably pretty good. Or Megas XLR. Either one. Not sure. Soups, you still breathing?
Fucking thing sucks.
He's pulling a Bill O'Reilly right now. But he's fighting to get it back to us. You gotta love him. Well, while he's dealing with that, no, I was just asking you if you had any memories you wanted to offer before we go to the next topic. The audience has really just been telling us about some of the things they used to play. Somebody brought up the Nickelodeon website. A couple people brought up just some games they used to play on the website and shows that they remember. So,
and as you know, Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, that Kid Next Door. That was another show I loved watching on Cartoon Network.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Even
that show was awesome. The crossover with the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, bro, that shit was.
Yes, the crossover. Powerpuff Girls. I also watched that with my sister. Like, binged that. We binged that shit when they came out when it got released on Netflix. Yeah, you remember those Cartoon Network specials where they had like all the characters? You remember those specials where they had like a bunch of characters just hanging around, just doing stuff? I remember one was Jack.
Yeah, every holiday. My favorite was the Halloween.
Laundry.
Yeah, my favorite were the Halloween ones. Halloween. Yes, I remember that. It was the Cartoon Network City era. Cartoon era. They had that giant city where all the characters had slice of life moments. That's my favorite era of Cartoon Network. It's amazing.
Bro, yes. Why didn't they continue that? That was special, man. That was like no one else did that.
The passion and the talent left the studios, man. It's what happens.
That's the thing. I want the names of the people that left during that era because we gotta find them people again. We need them back. Or at least we need them to like.
Alan, I can't read.
I can't.
I can't read that comment, Alan, but I see it. I see that comment, Alan, but I cannot read it. Bonk.
Bonk. If we could
My
bonk him
God,
for
man,
that.
control yourself.
Bro,
Oh, Jesus.
Kaine, this is honestly kind of tame, but have you seen the stuff he says in our Discord?
Jesus Christ, man. But enough nostalgia. It's time for us to dive back head first. Enough nostalgia. It's time for us to dive head first back into the brain rot and the cringe. Okay, maybe not brain rot and cringe, but he's wrong. We're going to review the comments of, I have no idea who this guy is. I'm not even going to lie. I have no clue. Nade Shot. He's famous for something. He's a streamer. He's a gaming guy. Nade Shot. I want to say he's a Halo player because I remember some legend of a guy discovering some tech in Halo by throwing grenades and sniping them and getting a whole bunch of kills. I don't know if that's this guy. I'm sorry. I don't know who he is. I apologize, but he's probably famous for something significant in gaming. I just don't know. Oh, man.
I like how your introduction is just, let's dive into the brain rotting take of, I don't know, of Mr. Nobody, or maybe he's a somebody, but he's a nobody.
No, he's not a nobody. I just don't know who he is. He's a significant figure of some kind. I just don't know who they are. If the audience could help me out, who is this guy? Please help me. If you can help me, honestly, please do. I'm putting my foot in my mouth at the start of this topic, but the person doesn't matter. It's the argument. It's the argument that I'm after. So, anything to add before I play this video?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was kidding. I know he's a fake, like, a notable Twitch figure, guy, but I don't really follow that outside of like the stupid comments someone like Hassan Piker makes, or Destiny, and that's only because it's so bad it makes headlines. I hardly ever look at Twitch.
I have no idea how to improve the quality of this stained glass window we call a video. And that's probably partial, but it's not the video we're after. It's the audio.
There's something weird that has happened.
So I'm going to play that for you guys here. If it looks like a stop motion claymation figure, I apologize, but here's the audio.
There's something weird that has happened in the gaming community. I'm serious too when I say this. For some reason, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Like, the whole thing with XDefiant is still, like, stumps me to this day. People complain about not having enough games to play, but when new games come out, even before they have played it, they're like, that game sucks. I'm not going to play it. Listen, man, if we keep tearing down these studios trying to make good games, like, yeah, not every single one is going to be fun, and not every single one is going to be a hit. But if we're sitting here, like, preying on its downfall...
Yeah, I've already seen this video.
Before the game even comes out, what do you think's going to happen? Nobody's going to be investing in gaming and
oh my God. I'm sorry, guys.
Games.
Bro,
and you're not going to have shit to fuck.
Is that all the video or no?
Fucking play. You're going to be sitting here playing MW.
I mean, I want the entire video to play all the way through because I don't want to have to paraphrase and I don't want to misrepresent him. I want them to hear it from the horse's mouth before we go ahead and try and dispute his argument. That's why it's pissing me to fuck off that it keeps doing this. Just play.
There's something weird that has happened in the gaming community. I'm serious too when I say this. For some reason, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Like, the whole thing with XDefiant is still, like, stumps me to this day. People complain about not having enough games to play, but when new games come out, even before they had played it, they're like, that game sucks, I'm not going to play it. Listen, man, if we keep tearing down these studios trying to make good games, like, yeah, not every single one is going to be fun and not every single one is going to be a hit. But if we're sitting here like preying on its downfall before the game even comes out, what do you think's going to happen? Nobody's going to be investing in gaming and making new games. And you're not going to have shit to fucking play. You're going to be sitting here playing MW2 remastered edition. You're going to be sitting here trying to play fucking the same old games for the 1,000th time because these billionaires and fucking multi-million billion-dollar publishers, they're not going to greenlight any new games, any new concepts, any new IP. I mean, I try to put
It's almost done. It got
myself in the
halfway.
shoes
I think
of myself
halfway.
when I was like 16 years old, but
The internet's
damn,
gonna suck it on both our
was
ends, I guess.
You've got to be kidding,
excited for new
dude.
games when they came out. The problem is now we have too many options. We've seen too many different games. We've seen too many different ways to interact with games. Like back in the day, bro, when
Any options?
in 2007 when Halo 3, Gears of War 1,
I wish I
and
was as
Call
much
Duty
of a
Modern
tech
Warfare
expert
dropped
as
the
you,
same fucking
because this is just,
year.
best I could say
Yeah,
is just
we were lined up
reload or restart the thing.
outside
don't
of
know what's causing
GameStops,
the-
whether it was in
the
a
issue.
mall or attached to a fucking Hollywood video, sitting
Hang
there
on.
waiting,
This is
camped
just-
out, drinking fucking Mountain Dew.
Boys.
This
waiting for
video
these
is
new
only
games
2
for the
minutes. Come
midnight
on.
release.
It's Twitter. It's got to be Twitter because on YouTube we were
But
fine.
everybody was so excited about it. Now when new games come out,
Damn it, Elon.
we're fucking sitting around a goddamn fire or witch artifact, like doing a satanic ritual for the game to fail miserably. I don't really get it.
Okay, all right. So before, okay, we basically got the gist of his argument from what he just said there about how everyone seems to be preying on gaming's downfall. And I'm going to go through a few of the comments underneath the tweet before we even get into an article that basically proves my argument correct. Anyway, and sections arguments correct anyway, because he misses a few key points in his summation of the gaming landscape when it comes to people's reactions and fan reception. Soups, did you want to go first?
That was good. Yes, I want to say something. Because I'd already seen this video a while back. You know who this reminds me of? Like,
No.
you know who this guy's reminding me of? Your boy Zach. It's reminding me of your boy Zach. The comic and movie stuff he's been talking about with Furiosa went under, with all the stuff he kept saying about the anti-SJWs, rage bait culture, all that shit. Yeah, this is bringing me this is exactly what this sounds like to me, but just gaming side. The idea that people just want the industries to fail. They want games to fail. This reminds me of what he was saying about numbers of YouTubers that just want Hollywood to fail, or they want all these movies to fail now.
Here's the thing,
Completely missing the point.
Here's the thing, though. Gaming is a lot more amorphous than Hollywood or comic books. A lot more. And the reason why I have a problem with his take is because it's not that people are preying on gaming's downfall. That's just a fucking silly statement. when people see this harkens back to a discussion we had a few episodes ago when we were talking about movie trailers and advertisement in general. The entire point of advertisement is to see it and to judge whether or not you as the consumer will like the product. So if I see the trailer and I think something is going to be shit, you can't tell me I'm wrong, because this is me making an assessment based upon what I like. And that's why the shit is stupid. If you have people coming out by the hundreds of thousands and saying, I don't fucking like this, it fucking sucks, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. Maybe your product sucks ass. Maybe you need to go back to the fucking drawing board. And this idea, oh man, if you keep telling these companies that their games are ass, no one's going to want to support gaming and invest in it. That's bullshit. If you make a good game, people will buy it. Look at the games people are championing when we pick the fucking corn out of the shit that's the gaming industry right now. Why do we have to wade through a sea of bullshit to get one good game? That's the fucking question.
Another thing I want to add. Another thing about that too. This guy is just kind of generalizing and putting it all together. Like, oh, people just want games to fail. Like, no,
it's not that he's generalizing. That's the problem. The generalization is not the problem. He's just wrong. His take is incorrect. His take is tone deaf. Yeah. That's not what it is.
I agree. He's plain wrong, and I'm trying to say that. Another thing to consider is that even with like the good games that we try to pick out of the pile, there's always someone trying to fuck with it. Like Helldivers 2. That was a good game that like people actually loved, and then Sony started fucking with it, and that's why they lost people. They lost viewers with that. Money with that.
This comment right here by Christina Tasty is a prime example, but you finish first.
What I'm trying to say is that people will actually go and buy a game that they want without trying to tear down the studio. People don't really want to tear down the gaming studios. They just want an actual good game. And the idea that we have to champion every single game that comes out just so that we get, or the fact that we have to just put off everything, all the negative or constructive comments, so that these studios can stick around to make a good game. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell the definition of a good game even is.
It's fear-mongering. Oh, man, if you keep saying everything is shit, what do you have to play? What will you have to play if you keep wanting everything to fail and be torn down? We don't know, and that's fine. What's funny is we actually do know, because there's countless independent devs working on games right now, bro. Do you know how many? You know what's crazy? I was browsing YouTube today, and I found several channels owned by developers of video games. I have no idea how small the teams are, but it looks to be like 1 to 2 guys, 10 guys at the maximum. And I found like several games that these are just like shell channels that are uploading test footage and test gameplay of a game that they're currently building. So this idea that we won't have anything to play is absurd. There are people making games right now. There's motherfuckers losing sleep right now on a project right now. And I can verify that with videos I've seen on YouTube today. Like, motherfuckers are making shit. So this idea that we're just going to be in a fucking drought of video games is silly. At least in the long run. Obviously, there's going to be nothing to play, because there's nothing to play right now, because they keep making shit like fucking Saints Row 3. I don't even remember the name of that game underneath the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. What the fuck is that? Forspoken? Yeah. Games like Forspoken, Saints Row 3, and Suicide Squad kills the fucking Justice League. Like, why should I play that? Like, and let's take a look at Christina Tasty's comment. She says, you're telling me I was supposed to be excited about this? You're telling me I want these games to continually to be made like this, to suck it up? Exactly. If the entire gaming landscape is going to look like this in the future, why should I give a fuck that it'll burn down? Why should I give a shit? It's like being upset that you got cancer cut out of you. What the fuck would be the point?
Yeah, that's
Sitting on our
Yeah, I
hands
don't
as
get- yeah,
games
that's why I don't-
continue to suck sure will improve the industry. I bet. Exactly. Like, what is he talking about? Like, this is the most tone-deaf diagnosis of the pop culture landscape, let alone gaming, I've ever seen in my fucking life. The idea that we shouldn't criticize, but they should just get to continue to make garbage and criticize us and tell us we're the worst people on earth, and their constituents get to tell us, oh, just go play the old stuff. Oh, it's not a big deal that they added pronouns. Oh, it's not a big deal that they race swap this or that character. Oh, it's not a big deal that the game focuses more on identity than it does actual gameplay and fucking narrative. Like, get the fuck out of here. If they get to talk, motherfucker, we get to talk. Ad nauseum. Shut the fuck up about this. Oh, you're just gonna complain them out of existence. I hope so. You won't have anything to do. It's better than having that to do. But anyway, go ahead. My rant over. Ran over.
that was a good rant. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like this applies. This is why I was comparing this to Zach, because I think this applies exactly to what's going on with comics, movies. Like the idea that people just want all of them to fail. It's not that they want all of them to fail. It's that they're just not giving us what we ask for.
I want bad
They're
things
just
to
not delivering,
fail.
man.
I want bad things to fail because
Exactly.
it's the market working as it should. If everything is bad, I want it all to fail because I don't want to incentivize shit behavior. Why? For what reason?
Especially after what we just covered with Disney. And let it burn.
Like, what are we losing? Right? You won't have anything to read. You won't have anything to play. What the fuck are we losing? What are we losing? Decades of bad fucking games? This reminds me of the writer's strikes. People were like, you realize that they have several Marvel projects that are on hold. And I wanted them shits to continue. That sounds like good news to me. No more bad writing?
I remember.
No more identity politics? Good fucking deal. Like, you gotta convince me why I should give a fuck. Seriously. And I'm sorry if I'm steamrolling, but this shit really got me hot, bro. This shit got me hot. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember when the boys was also on strike because it was also put on hold because of the writer's strike. And now that I see season 4, yeah, I kind of don't. I'm kind of not looking forward. In fact, I would if they do another like. Wasn't there like rumors of another writer's strike going down about to happen?
I haven't
there
heard
is,
anything, but
fucking
you
do
bet
it.
your
I know.
ass I'm gonna be celebrating. I'm gonna pop Jose and fucking champagne if that shit is real, bro. I'm gonna have party poppers. I'm gonna have a party hat, motherfucker. I might throw a party of one.
We could throw a monkey's paw party. Celebratory stream of the fucking writer's strike. That'd be hilarious. My point is though, it's just I don't see why so many people just try so hard to make you sympathize for the companies that have just been giving us trash.
It's like Kat said, the poor corporations, you're hurting the corporations' feelings. Like, come on, bro. Like, look at the fucking response to this goddamn comment in the comment section, bro. And everybody coming with straight heat, bro. He's missing how gaming has evolved. From Static Fox 64 up here. He's missing how gaming has evolved. AAA games used to be content complete in the double O's, early 2000s. Now, nearly every AAA game is a chopped up, buggy mess, and it's obvious how financially focused publishers are. That's before we get to the political problems. Even before the id poll shit, that was our main concern. That shit, selling us incomplete, buggy shit that doesn't work on launch, having these fucking $100 Ultimate Edition, Digital Deluxe Edition, and they started to offer less and less and less with your fucking pre-order. No more physical goods with your pre-order at all, just a download for a piece of shit soundtrack and a digital fucking art book. Bro, there have been other problems even before we get to the politics, bro. And he goes on to say, indie games miss this entirely and are loved because they echo older eras, because they adopt the best practices. He didn't say this next part, but because they adopt the best practices from those eras. Like, how is he not seeing this shit? There's no way he's this deaf, blind, deaf, and dumb to what's going on. I refuse to believe it.
It's kind of that kind of reminds me of something this YouTuber, that anime snob, would always say: "Retro always wins." In terms of business practice, yeah, it kind of, yeah, I'd say it does win, because they didn't have it didn't undersell games back then. Didn't undersell what they promised, and like you said, even before the DEI shit happened, games were just half-assing.
The quality had significantly diminished over the years, even before we get to the politics. And there's no way he doesn't know that.
Too, I was gonna say, playing when I was first playing Insomniac Spider-Man 2, there was so many damn glitches and bugs. It was hilarious. If I was recording, I could have made like a whole video just the random shit that was going on my first day playing
Motherfuckers are making compilations of bugs found in the game. People have 10 to 20 to 30. They have hours worth of random bugs, and they're all different. They're all new, all different. God damn it. Oh my God. It's insane. But we're supposed to buy that. We're supposed to buy that day one and pay full price, bro. That's what we're supposed to do. Shit that crashes, you can't start the game. You can't. Fuck it. You pay for early access through your pre-order, and that shit don't work. Continue.
Yeah, you're supposed to pay $70 to $75, $80 nowadays. Games with bugs and glitches.
Ridiculous, bro.
Oh my God.
Bro, CD Projekt Red had a game nicknamed behind the fucking terrible release, bro. Cyberbug 2077. That shit was gold. I mean, if anything good came out of all those failures, it was the memes. The memes were a gold mine. At least you could escape into that.
Yeah, we're living in a time where the memes are like the best of entertainment that we're getting in this day and age.
Seriously, man, like, oh man, I want to cover a couple more comments before we move to an article that proves my point and proves the point of the gracious audience here underneath this Twitter comment, right? So we got Ignatz here, and he says, it is childish and moronic to blame the customer. We do not like the product. We are very specific about what we do not like. We keep getting the same slop served up to us. We can smell it before it enters the room. Would you go back to a restaurant that gave you that experience? If all the game publishers went belly up tomorrow, and they should, within the next 6 to 9 months, new small publishers and game companies would spring up because there is an unquenchable demand for the real deal. Facts. Bro, do you know how much market demand is being fucking ignored right now? Do you know how much money motherfuckers stand to earn? The first person who makes the next Skullgirls is going to make a killing, bro. The next person to make the next Skullgirls, they will become a millionaire overnight. Mark my fucking words. Mark my fucking words, bro. You can't keep real shit. People can't shut up for long when it's some real shit on the streets, bro. Remember what happened to Cabrutus?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna, bro. It's already a done dealio. It's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when. To wrap up his comment,
I mean,
do you think if that shitty restaurant went out of business, then it would be over for all restaurants? Get a grip. Exactly. But go ahead.
so I was gonna say, it's like hell. If we're going back to movies, Deadpool Wolverine, that one got like just made like $1 billion now. I think in the box office because of supply and demand. They're not
going to listen though.
People what they want.
They're not going to listen to that because they didn't listen to No Way Home. And No Way Home wasn't even that good of a fucking film. People showed up because there was fan service in it and there was shit fans wanted in the movie. But they're not going to listen to the positive fan response because here's the thing. I mean, it's pretty clear and obvious that the reason why this is happening is that they don't want our money. They don't want to make money. They're buying and paying the price to destroy our culture. Like, we know that by now. They're paying for the destruction of our culture and our favorite pastimes. They're trying to cause some sort of collapse, bro. Yes, you can call it speculation if you want to, but you would only call it speculation or hearsay or a conspiracy theory if you haven't been paying attention to anything for the past fucking decade. You can leave if you're one of those people. But I mean, that doesn't mean we don't have a right to fucking complain about it. We should shout it from the mountaintops and shed light on it whenever we fucking can, because that's how we spread awareness to people who haven't wizened up to this occurrence. That's the entire fucking point. But anyway, I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if there's anyone that wants games to fail, it's the freaking developers. It's the developers. It's the CEOs or someone up there. It's the people up there that want games to fail.
All right, I changed my mind. I'm gonna read one more comment, and it's another tone deaf idiot one, bro. Before we move on to the article, creeped.
Oh no.
Creeped, right? And we could stay here a bit longer because we're only an hour 27 minutes in. But shit, you know what? Let's go through. We'll see. We'll go through a couple more. All right. This is 100. This is creeped, right? He says this is 100% a side effect from content creators and streamers. So he's blaming them for the outrage and noticing that products that are coming out are shit, right? He's blaming streamers and content creators. This is 100% a side effect from content creators and streamers. Before we had big-mouthed little kids and man-children playing video games 24/7 online, recording themselves, we didn't have this problem. So let me get this fucking straight, right? You shouldn't be allowed to play a video game and review it negatively. That's all I'm getting. I can only say good things. This is why I made those fucking YouTube shorts. Bro, that shit wasn't even talking about video games. It was talking about movies. This is shit I be talking about. You can only say good things. You can't say bad things. Ever. You can never say bad things. Consume product and get excited for next product. That's all you're allowed to fucking do. That's it. Like, this is insane. The idea that content creators and streamers have mystical, magical powers. Like, get this right. They can't make people subscribe. They can't make people give them money and make them millionaires overnight. But, they can get everybody to hate games. What kind of fucking sense does that make? It's like he's making them out to be fucking scions who have hypnotic powers. So that the fucking streamers just made everybody hate everything? Or is it actual garbage, bro? Like, use your critical thinking skills for a split fucking second. You know what I mean?
Again, this is just reminding me of the stuff that your boy Zach was saying, blaming the failure of blaming the failure of movies on fucking YouTubers, and blaming it on the
How
on the
much
negative press movies have been
you think
Hollywood
they
have been having
have?
lately. It's this. I think they have all that influence. Like they're just people, man. They're not even like exactly like precise voices of the people. Some people still disagree with like stuff Neurotic and Critical Drinkers say, but
The only people paying attention to these streamers, and I mean the streamers that are critical of the things being pushed out in the pop culture, are the actual constituents of the people making the thing, because they have to be plugged in. They have to know what the audience is saying. And guess what? They hear you. They just don't care. Those are the only people paying enough attention to actually make a change. Those are the only people. The idea that fucking YouTubers that have 1 million subscribers, when we have over 333 billion people in America, have enough fucking influence to make everyone hate shit. It's ridiculous. Just by the sheer ratio in comparison to the comparing their subscriber counts to the total population of just America. We're not even talking about other Western nations. 1 million subscribers, you think he has influence over 333 billion people. Get a fucking grip. That's not why it is. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it doesn't even take Eastern countries into account, because we know, because Japan be buying a lot of games too, and making games that become famous. But it's just kind of adding to what you were saying, that YouTubers, they're just people making videos, just what they think.
That's all they're doing.
Same thing is, they're just
the reason why the audience watches them is because
commenting.
the audience already thought that way to begin with. It's called resonance. Sorry, were you finished? Did I interrupt?
That's pretty much it. You gonna segue to the next topic, or is there another comment?
I'm scrolling through here. I just put up the screen.
Yeah, the screen's kind of loading on my end because Wi-Fi again. But thankfully, the audio is still here, and I'm not getting booted out and having to claw my way back in here again.
You're good, man. I guess there's one more comment, and then we can actually just move on. We don't even have to stick on it too much. I can't pronounce that. Dukaru says, more like the consumer isn't blindly consuming. When a bad game is bad, speak up and say why you dislike it. The free market will always weed out garbage. Facts. And we can just end on that note. If you do not meet market demand,
capitalism for the win.
If you do not meet consumer demand, you do not deserve a space. You do not deserve a space in the market. Period. Why the fuck should I pay for garbage? Why? That's just not being a smart consumer. And not that I don't even like the term consumer anyway. Buyer. It makes you sound like a mindless animal. Consuming. You're not being a smart buyer. Customer. Patron.
In the end, capitalism always wins.
Before we get into this Dead Rising article, which proves me right, along with everyone else, I want to take some comments from the audience and see if they had anything poignant to say about that topic. I'm sure they did, but I'll take Mina Kill first because he's the first one I saw, or she, whichever one. We respect the binary over here. It's easier to scapegoat than to admit fact that problem isn't that simple. If certain YouTubers are the problem, they can just put them down. But if the problem is the narrative, it means they have to change. Damn it! Is he from? Fuck! I don't want to sound memed, but is English his native their native language? Because I get what they're trying to say.
If I remember, he's from another country.
Yeah, but I mean, the idea is correct. It's easier to scapegoat than to admit fault. It's easier to blame the customers than to admit fault and to admit you're the fucking problem. Yes.
Yeah. It requires
So,
strength, which is something they do not have. By the way, I'm gonna have to start hopping off soon. My battery's gonna die, and I have to start making my way home soon.
oh, that's perfectly fine. I can
Yeah.
hop back and forth between this article and the Twitter comment from earlier that I just closed. Because we're only at an hour 35 minutes.
I was gonna say, was this
honestly?
I was gonna say, is the next one your last topic, or was it,
Hey.
or did you have like another topic after Dead Rising?
No, that was the last topic for the
I can't
night.
remember.
But that was the last topic I had planned. But I guess I could go into Borderlands if I wanted to. But that would be expending a topic for next show. I think I'm gonna linger on the gaming topic for another half hour after I finish reading the other article. Just kind of bounce back and forth. Just kind of talk to the audience and get their feel about what's going on.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna read a couple more
I'm about
comments
to start hopping off.
see.
Thanks. I just wanted to say thanks everyone for coming in and listening. Thanks for taking for those of y'all invited. Thanks for taking the invite very last minute. Kind of what I've been doing lately. Just to kind of get everyone in on time, or after or during the show. All right. Peace out, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys very much, man. I'm still gonna be here, but he has to go. Haven't already. You might find something that you like here on the channel. I have this podcast. I have writing craft videos, reviews on shows, games, movies, etc. And I use those things as teaching tools to teach people how to be better writers. And any topics you guys think you want me to talk about, feel free to suggest them in the comments, etc. But enough shilling. Oh yeah, links in the description too. I'll do another sign off that covers all this anyway. But continuing on. So this next article is going to be from Niche Gamer. It says Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster cuts the erotica genre from photography minigame. Yeah, if you guys remember the original Dead Rising off the record featuring Frank West, where he goes to damn it, what's the name of the mall in Dead Rising 2? Is it the Willamette Shopping Center, or is that the first one? I can't remember. But the mall in Dead Rising 2, he actually goes there to get the scoop on some exclusive story. I can't remember what the story was. I think it had something to do with that outbreak that was there at the time. But anyway, if you played that game, first of all, the graphics were better, which is fucking funny. See, even looking at this picture here, I talk about how realism is kind of a plague on gaming right now, and everyone wants to focus on realism, not knowing what makes realism good in certain situations, not knowing when realism should be used, and for some reason, it's just a fucking cult. Like, realism is better somehow. I don't fucking get it. One sec. Ritter, they can, god damn it. Ritter, the audience can see you in here. You're not a part of the show. Let me kick him. I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna disconnect. Sorry, Ritter. But anyway, for some reason, games have gone away from more stylized art directions when it comes to their graphics. Like, if you pick the right art style for your graphics, your game will look ageless and timeless, but for some reason, they want to use realism to put forth anything. But if you notice, the female character here, I think her name is Sherry, they went ahead and gave her the fucking shovel chin man jaw, and they gave Frank West progeria from the looks of some of the fucking pictures I've seen on the game. It's really weird. But anyway, enough waxing on about that. This was a good game. I recommend you buy the original and stay far away from this fucking remaster. There's no, like, they're doing a remaster of a remaster, essentially, but whatever. It says here, Capcom recently teased details for their Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, but content is being cut from the game. The erotica genre from its photography minigame. The original Dead Rising would let you take photos to get bonus prestige points, PP. And out of 5 photo genres, the erotica genre would reward you for taking suggestive photos of human females or even zombie females. A recent preview for the new Deluxe Remaster, which is being hyped up as the definitive version of the game with its improvements and better visuals, has confirmed the erotica genre from the photo minigame has been cut via Famitsu. While some may bemoan the feature from the original 2006 game, I don't know any people who do that, by the way. Many felt like it added to the absurdity of the horror comedy game as it let players experience a bonkers B-tier zombie story in an open-world mall playscape. To add to the absurdity of the game's original photo mode, the other genres included horror, zombies, and graphic violence. Outtakes, silly events or scenes, drama, dramatic events, especially from survivors, and brutality, death of zombies or survivors. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is set to launch on September 19th for Windows PC via Steam, Xbox Series X/S, and PS5. Not that it fucking matters. You see, I brought this article up just to drive the point home that fucking Nadeshot has no idea what he's talking about. When people are already finding out that the quality of a game is being severely diminished and you're removing things from it because, I'm just going to come right out and say it, there is a war on heteronormativity, specifically against men and what men like to see in video games because of the concept of the male gaze. That's exactly what it's about. That's why all the women have to look like fucking men, and why they cut erotica from the game, the erotica genre of photography from the game. That's why. That's why degenerate shit like Baldur's Gate 3, where you can have sex with animals, is A-okay, but a hot woman, oh, that's so early 2000s and misogynistic or some such bullshit. And this is the problem that somehow Nadeshot has missed. I don't normally tell people what to do, but just buy the fucking original of this. It's still available. It's the PS4 version. You're not losing anything by not getting this fucking remaster. It's way better if you just get the other one. As a matter of fact, I think the realistic angle they're taking ruins the style of the original game anyway. But anywho, I think I am going to read a few more comments underneath this video and use them as a centerpiece for the discussion going on in the comments right now, as well as just kind of waxing on a bit more on this topic. But let me go ahead and see. Mina Kill says, truth is, graphics aren't what makes something feel real. It's making it believable. You can have a game with graphics from late 2010, decent lighting, and good designs. It will do more than 8K textures. I mean, that's always what I've been saying about people, like, about games. Like, I remember playing PS1 games and even some PS2 games that were bad for the time the PS2 was out and for the types of games that were being run, that I would play a game of polygons with shit graphics all day if the gameplay was good, because I care more about the gameplay than the fucking graphics. As long as I can tell what I'm looking at, I'm not going to have a problem with the graphics. Like, look at a perfect example for me. If I want to take a game from the early mid 2010s, is Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's a fighting game. Highly stylized art direction. If you go look up that game right now, that shit looks like something that could drop this year. And you know why? Because of the fucking stylistic choice in art direction. It looks gorgeous to this day. It's timeless. But when you go more realistic, you date your games. Like your game, like if you look at this game in the next 10 years, it's gonna look like shit. It's gonna look like complete garbage. Like in my opinion, Hollow Knight looks better than that fucking game. And graphics is like one of the least. It's like one of the least important elements of a video game anyway. Like again, gameplay, narrative, which I would count narrative as the second most important aspect of a video game, because I mean, video games back in the day when they were initially released had very little to no story at all. That being said, I'm glad narrative and art were introduced because it added more to the experience. Rudy says, this is why the majority of games I'm playing are Japanese or remakes. I mean, yeah, because only the old shit really gives you what you want, or some obscure indie developer that drops some hidden gem. You know what I mean? He says, again, sometimes what is added to a remake ruins the experience. Persona 3 Reload made things a lot more powerful by adding in free super moves. I could name Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Not that Dark Souls 2 original vanilla was a good game either. I'm not gonna lie. Well, no, I won't say that. Dark Souls 2 was a good game. Was it a well-made game? Fuck no. Was it fun? Yes. Was it a good Souls game? Fuck no. It was still the best. You know, I mean, it says a lot about From Software when even their worst examples are still some of the best gaming of the years they come out. Dark Souls 2 was still the best RPG, or at least one of the best RPGs that came out that year. I believe, god damn it, what the fuck else came out that year? Dark Souls 2 dropped. I cannot fucking remember. I had something and then I lost it in the blink of an eye, but it was still one of the best RPGs to drop that year. Even though it's the worst Souls game in the series. That says a lot about From Software's track record. S&T Nocturne still holds up today only because of the art style. Yeah, I mean, art style does a lot of favors for games. Scholar of this First Sin definitely looks like a mod. That shit should have been DLC or something. It should have been an alternate game mode or something. It should not have been hailed as the definitive version of Dark Souls 2. It just doesn't make any sense. Oh my god. This is probably the worst example to use. COD and 2K are the absolute worst, most cherry-picked fucking examples to use in this discussion. I have no idea why. I mean, the only thing okay. In order to describe the phenomenon of 2K and Call of Duty, I would have to be speculating. But I'm going to speculate and make clear that it's speculation. Those fan bases are fucking addicted to the formula of those games, bro. That's why they keep buying them. I know people who play 2K. I know people who play Call of Duty. They keep buying the fucking games whenever they come out. They buy the sequels whenever they come out. They play them. They know their shit, and they buy them anyway. And it's because they're addicted to the fucking formula. That's why. This is a horrible fucking example. Even the people who continue to buy COD and 2K know that they are shit and have declined in quality over the years. That's why Modern Warfare 2 keeps getting brought up in discussions like this. So he says here, COD, most popular game in the world every year. COD, best-selling game every year. Content creators / streamers. COD is the worst game ever and it's terrible and dying. They play it nonstop and buy it yearly. That's called being conflicted, sir. And it's not just content creators and streamers. It's the customer base as a whole, bro. In a word, Mina Kill, yes, they're consumers. Yes. They are prisoners. They are prisoners of the fucking COD 2K formula. Because there's no real competitors. Well, for COD, there technically were competitors. There was a direct competitor in Battlefield that ceremoniously shot itself in the foot with several failure entries. And then there were indirect competitors in Gears of War, Halo. Shit, what else? Fuck. I can't think of any others. Probably just those two. And then those series ended. But COD didn't end. I can't name any more. But now you have arena shooters like fucking Overwatch, Fortnite. COD came out with their own called Warzone, Rainbow Six Siege, etc. But people just love returning to COD for whatever reason. Let's see what other comments we can find here. I'll give this 10 more minutes and I'll end it because that'll put us right at 2 hours. Nice round, nice round number there. See if we can find some more comments that lean in our direction as well. Not him. We already read him. Because modern gaming sucks. Simple yet effective. Lupasan says he has the entire counter argument for this. Lupasan, I got an entire counter argument for this. At what point did our community say, fuck you companies, I hope you fail? Because if memory serves me correctly, it never used to be like that. No, it didn't. You know why it didn't used to be like that? Because companies used to give fans what they wanted. Bro, some of the best examples I give whenever I talk about fans and companies being on one accord is the Marvel vs. Capcom series. It was two franchise giants, that being the arcade titan that was Capcom to the comic book monolith that was Marvel. Two companies saw that they had a crossover appeal between two different fan bases, came together and made something that would appease comic book fans, fighting game fans, / Street Fighter fans, or if you were somebody like me, a person who was a fan of both. That shit was lightning in a fucking bottle for me. Before I played my first fighting game, I was already familiar with comic book characters of all types. Marvel was my favorite. Then I started playing Street Fighter 2, King of Fighters, Capcom versus SNK, fucking etc. Then X-Men versus Street Fighter. Then Marvel Superheroes. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 1 Clash of the Superheroes. And guess what? People loved the shit out of those games because those games gave fans what they wanted. The most recent example I can even remotely think of is what Tekken 8 is doing in their collaboration with Nike. They're making an actual official Tekken sneaker with Nike because they realize they have a crossover appeal between fan bases again. Sneakerheads and Tekken fans. One of the main characters in Tekken, Kazuya Mishima, had a sneaker collection ever since Tekken 1. So they're doing a shoe inspired by the Mishimas. Kazuya has his first, and then Jin Kazama has his version of the shoe with his own colorway. Like, why is more of that shit not happening? It's because they don't give a shit. Fans and companies are not on one accord anymore. Like long gone are the days where the people who make the game play the fucking game. Long gone are the days where the people who write, well then again, never mind. Writing is different. Cause there's arguments that can be made that the people that write novels read them. It's just that they've been poisoned by identity politics. But for comics, damn sure, they do not read comics. They just write them. Audiences and companies no longer resonate with each other right now. Me and Kill, I hate the insanity quote so much. I hate that insanity quote, bro. I fucking hate it. Oh man, I think people take that quote out of context. I won't get into the entire reason why I think people take that quote out of context. I might make that its own video or something like that. But the insanity quote can be defeated when you realize that sometimes when you fail the first time, you try the exact same thing. You try the exact same thing a second time and it works. Or even if it doesn't work the second time, try the third time and it fucking works. Like, there have definitely been times where you did the same thing over and over and expected a different result. There have been times where that's happened. That's why I fucking hate that quote. I hate that fucking quote with every fiber of my being. Because people use it without thinking about it. On top of that, that's not even the definition of insanity. Insanity is a legal term. It is also a mental health term. But anywho, a couple more comments. We got 5 more minutes before I call it and do sign off and everything. So get your comments in now if you have anything you want to add to the discussion. I will read your comment. Shinryu. I think devs and community managers calling gamers things like bigots and misandrists for not supporting them is what tipped the cauldron. Now they're reaping what they've sown. People are voting with their wallets, and average is over. It's as simple as that. I'm not sure what average is over means, but maybe they mean maybe it means they're no longer settling for mediocre. Honestly, I'd buy a mediocre game. Like, if it was a good, honest try, I consider something like Outer Worlds mediocre. But it was a fun fucking game. It was a fun game. Like, if you're a fucking indie studio or you're a studio that's new, I will try your game. And if it's mediocre, I will enjoy it because you're a new studio probably. As long as you don't offend me and the gameplay is serviceable and it's actually a decent game, I will probably support your next project you put out because I want to see what you got. If I like what you gave me enough, I'll probably support the next thing just because I want to see what you got. You know what I mean? Let me see. Okay, so now this person here is weighing in on when they think the decline of gaming quality started. I mean, that's a theory. I think it's pretty accurate. So they think that it started once we became able to download patches, and back when developers had to fit everything on the disc for launch games, they had to be more polished out the gate. Yeah, they had to be optimized. The game had to fit on the disc or you couldn't sell it. Like, there was no patch, there was no internet, there was no constant internet connection. You had to make sure the game was polished, because once it was out into the fucking once it was on the shelves, that was it. That's what the fuck people got. So they had to be good at what they did. But I don't think that's a good enough excuse for the fucking degradation of quality. I just don't. But even we have this guy here who says that's a myth. Even back then, games did not come out faultless. I mean, that's not what everyone's saying, though. Games did not come out faultless or polished, but they had to work harder to make sure the game was serviceable. I mean, of course there were failures. There's failures in every era of gaming, but that's not what he's saying. He goes on to say people just didn't pay much attention to that. No, yeah, they did. When a game was garbage, people said so. You know how many fucking garbage games were forgotten? You know how many games we just straight up don't even fucking talk about from past eras? Me neither. That's the fucking point. Just think of them. It's a dark number. You have no idea how many shit games people just forgot about. And he says Skyrim was not polished, game with no fault on release. I mean, no, it wasn't, but god damn it. Skyrim has literally nothing to do with what he said, though. By the time Skyrim was out, we had Xbox Live. What's he talking about? Remember that fucking DLC with the horse armor? People bitched about that. Skyrim was not a flawless game, but I'm trying to figure out what the fuck bringing it up has to do with the discussion. I don't know why he said anything about fucking Skyrim. Whatever. Anyway, guys, you got any more comments to add on regarding Nadeshot's comments on everyone wanting gaming to fail and preying on gaming's downfall? How do you feel about that? Do you think his take is accurate? If so, why? Do you think it's inaccurate? If so, why? I'm pretty sure most of you think it's inaccurate because you're plugged in. But that's beside the fucking point. Like, I just think his diagnosis is completely off base. It's not right. It just makes it seem like he hasn't been paying attention to anything. Like I said, there's so many things that were wrong before we even get to politics. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. But that's going to be all of our topics for tonight. I enjoyed discussing pretty much everything with you guys. Not the first couple topics, but at least I get to share it with you. We have these shows every 2 weeks. We have all new topics every time. Any topics you want to add to our list that you want us to discuss, feel free to post in the comments or shoot to us in DMs on Twitter or wherever else you can find us. I'm still editing the God of War review if you guys have been paying attention to that. I have a couple other reviews, if you haven't noticed, up on my channel right now. And I'm watching the first good show we will be reviewing. It has 7 seasons. It's called Elementary. And probably in between me watching a long show, it's just going to be a bunch of chill streams every weekend and me telling you about the show. And that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe I can include some of that stream footage in the reviews once I complete them. It sounds like a great prospect. I can't wait to get that going. But anyway, this has been your episode of the Monkey's Paw. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the links in the description to keep your fingers on the pulse of Cosmogoth. This is your gracious host, Kaine Walker, signing off, and I will see you all again next time. Peace.